a challenge, but they're bigger. We got one already. Ooh. Oh, whoa. Thing was fishing the whole time while I was cleaning up. And look at that. Welcome back to the Fishing Doctor's Adventures. Today I'm on a brand new lake to me. Never fished here before. I think the regulations might have just changed in this last regulation update. Used to be a fly fishing only lake, and fly fishing only, barbless, hook, single hook, baitless fish used to get pretty big in this lake. So now they've opened it up to fishing all year with a 2 fish limit, none over 50 centimeters, and single hook. So you can use barbs, you can use bait, and you can fish all year. So I'm gonna try it. It's a pretty big lake compared to what I thought, and they only stock about 2,000 fish in here a year, so not very much. Drilled one hole, it's 12 feet of water. Drill some more holes in shallower, maybe some out deeper. Get fish and see if anything marks. I hope this connects. Should be fun. Let's get at them. So we're actually in about 13.5 feet of water. It's probably about 10:30 now. Took me a while to pack up at the hotel. We've got about, I don't know, 5-6 inches of ice. Water looks really clear. This is the JawJacker IM7 rod. It's the 31-inch JawJacker rod. Have a chartreuse and pink blob with a tungsten head on it, and I'm gonna put a half a mealworm as usual. I have shrimp too, we can try that as well. But for now, we'll just give the mealworm a shot. Usually any kind of bait works if they're biting. I'm not one of these guys who thinks you got to use a certain kind of bait in order to catch the fish. I think if you present it well, they'll bite on anything. And set the hook as horizontally as you can with the tip pointed up. I haven't seen anything swim by yet. Like I said, only 2,000 fish in this lake a year. It's a pretty big lake, and I don't know the last time it winter killed. Could potentially only be 4,000 to 6,000 fish in here. Now, they will be cruising, usually feeding shoals. So if you pick high probability areas, you're more likely to see fish. But if they're not in a feeding mode, they could just be anywhere. So if I can't find them where I suspect to find them, then we'll have to go looking elsewhere. And that's when it gets tricky. That's when you got to start trying the funky stuff to find them. A Markham helps you set your depth when you're using a really light fly and it's hard to test the bottom. I mean, you could always put a weight on your hook to test the bottom. I'm going to put it about 2.5 feet off bottom. They'll see it. You don't want it too close to the bottom. Sometimes fish are feeding like right on bottom, and in those cases you'll have to put it right on bottom. So I usually start like 2.5, 3 feet up. Let's put our JawJacker on. Kind of don't suspect it'll be like the other day, because there are much fewer fish in this lake, so it's gonna be more of a challenge, but they're bigger. So that's the toss-up. High stocking numbers, fish often are smaller with a big concentration of small fish and fewer big fish. In lakes with low stocking numbers, fewer fish, harder to catch, but when you catch them, they're much bigger. So you pick your poison. I drilled holes about every 8 to 10 feet towards shore. It's snowing nicely. Usually fish are biting good when it's snowing like this. So I think they should be feeding still. So probably 12, 13 feet is a little deep. I'm gonna go run these holes with my depth sounder, find if there's any transition break or anything. I usually like 5, 6 feet or even up in 3 feet of water. But let's go hop the holes and see exactly what we got. Some people are like, why do you drill so many holes? Or they ask me, how many holes do you drill? Only drill 1 or 2 holes. I think people think holes are just for catching fish. Holes aren't just for catching fish. Holes are for finding the structure, finding the depth, finding the weeds, finding bottom structure. So if you don't drill more holes, you can't really investigate what's under the ice unless you know the lake from the summer and have a good idea of where the structure is and what you're looking for. But if I've never fished a lake before, the only way I can figure out what's below the ice is by popping lots of holes. So that's what I do. I drill lots of holes. It's really handy having an electric auger. You can drill lots of holes in minimal effort, especially when it's only 5, 6 inches of ice. You pop through it in a couple seconds. It's not hard at all. Okay, let's go run this little line of holes here. So it's pretty interesting because starting about right here, it's 3 feet of water, and then the rest of the way to the shore, it's basically 2 to 3 feet, and it's 1 foot deep right against the reeds. When I look down, I can see green weeds laying on the bottom. And then this one is like 4 feet, and this one's like 5.5 feet. So I always mark it when I'm checking, so I know exactly which hole is the 5 foot one, because the next hole was like 8 or 9 feet deep. So his biggest transition was between this hole and that hole. It's like 3.5 feet. So from that one where the camera is, it's about 12.5 feet. This is 8 feet deep. So it went pretty slowly. It went like 11, 10, 8.5, and then all of a sudden 5 feet deep. So to me, it seems like a little bit of a basin, and then it transitions to the shelf. So sometimes they cruise that right at that edge where it gets a little deeper. So I'm gonna put the JawJacker right there, and then I'll get some hooks rigged up because you're only allowed single hooks here. So I have to find some spoons with single hooks because I want to jig something aggressive to see if I can bring in some fish. I want to be able to search, and you can't use treble. Release this, move it. You can put it right in the middle, like 2.5 feet off the bottom, and you're covering basically the total whole water column, because fish right at the top can come down 2.5 feet. Fish on the bottom can come 2.5 feet up. Whereas you're fishing in 13 feet of water, you might have dead zones where you're not covering. Did I just see a fish? Oh, we got one. We got one already. I was just gonna come pull this one out. A little too loose on the drag. Oh, this is a good fish. Nice fish. Oh, look at that one. Hokey dinah. That's a nice fish. Oh my. Okay. Look at that. Look at that beautiful fish. Ooh. I think that one might be under 50 centimeters, so I'm gonna go measure it quick. And if not, I'll release it. But what a beautiful fish. Look at that one. Yes, like 49.75 centimeters. So I think I'm not gonna risk it. I'll keep a little smaller one if I can. Oh, whoa. Just give me a shower. See that? Picking the depth is so important because you will put yourself in a zone. We're gonna catch fish, right? So if you drill holes, 1 or 2 holes, and you're in the wrong depth, you can sit there all day and catch nothing. That's evidence, right? People say noise isn't good. I was seriously walking right to the JawJacker to pull it out. Thing went off. Well, I got lucky. I did tighten my light drag a little bit much. I was just pulling the line out. There was a knot in here, and I snapped the line, so I got lucky I caught that fish. Retying this hook, always a good idea to retie your hooks if you have a knot in the line or a nick in the line. Otherwise you could break off a big fish. Doesn't take long. It takes a minute or two to retie and saves you a bit of heartache. I can see it, it's like marl bottom with some weeds down there. That didn't take long at all. I just got my 2 rods set up, one with the jig, one with a slender spoon. This is good. They hit a blob, and it's just on this jigging JawJacker. We'll see if more come through. I'll give it a little bit more time, and then I'll grab my rods. Now that I know that this depth works, I'm gonna extend some holes along this ridge. Ooh, but there's no fish there. Sometimes if they just hit it lightly, it doesn't sting them, and they're still around. They come back. Ooh, one just hit it. He just hit it. He's back. He's back. I don't know if he's gonna come back. Oh, there he goes. Oh, I just stung him again. He's probably not gonna come back now. I hit him good that time. That's why hook angle is so important for hooking success. You gotta make sure that hook point is pointed up. 2 hits on the JawJacker. 1 landed, 1 came off. And when I came back to check on it because I just saw it release. I didn't see it hook up at all. Dropped it back down and he hit it 2 more times. I actually stung him the second time. So, man, this is good action. Really good action. There it goes. He's back. He's back. He's back. He's back. Whoa, look at that. Man. Oh my, he's going like crazy. Oh, look at that. Yes. So that one is a keeper size. So that one will keep. Beautiful Panask rainbow trout on the blob. I don't know if that's the one that came back, but look at that. Boom. Got another one. Limit here is 2 a day, under 50 centimeters. This one's definitely under 50, so that's the size to keep if you're out here. On that tequila blob with no bait. Bait came off, I set it back down. Boom. They're hungry today. Well, I just was setting up the JawJacker and I just got a little one. I didn't realize the camera wasn't on. I set it down there. I thought the JawJacker set off, like, because I bumped it, but there was a fish there. It was okay, it was a little one. 14-incher. There's so many trout right here right now. We're on the hot spot. Oh, another one. Another one just grabbed it. Another one was just there, a bigger one. Why are there so many here? I don't know. Yeah, he was just there. He grabbed it. Maybe I better loosen up this tension. I tighten it up a bit. I want a hair trigger. Because if the big ones are biting light, you're gonna need a pretty light trigger. This is how I get the downhole shots. It's really clear and there isn't much ice, so this will get really nice shots. I just stick this in the hole. There's always a risk you losing it, so once you hook a fish, you should pull it out of the hole. It has the floaty back on it, and you just put it in the water like that. Now this is great to see. I know some guys might be upset that they opened up these lakes for ice fishing, but there's a whole group of family members, you know, like 3 kids, a bunch of people out with their dog and stuff, out here having fun. I'm pretty sure they won't catch that many fish, you know, so it's not going to be the end to these fisheries. It has a size limitation, can't keep them over 50 centimeters, so it should maintain the integrity and quality of the fishery. If the odd smaller fish gets taken out, usually it just thins them out a little bit more, and they grow faster, right? More food, less mouths, they grow faster. And if numbers, you know, are getting utilized in this lake and fish numbers are down a bit, utilization of the lake is up, they'll bump up the stocking numbers. Maybe they'll put an extra 1,000 fish a year in here. There's options. So fisheries is probably going to monitor these fisheries and be on top of it. But it's great to see these lakes getting used 365 days a year instead of just, you know, summer months. That's my take on it. I know fly guys are going to hate this, but what can you do? I love ice fishing. Might as well utilize these fisheries all year. Some of them do winter kill. It's a shame when they do. Might as well catch some fish in the winter too. I think the JawJacker has had enough fun. Time for me to do some fishing. So I'm going to pull it out. I got the Circle Tackle Walleye X-Fast 34 rod with a KY1000 Circle Tackle reel on, 10-pound braid with a little swivel, barrel swivel, and I think I have about 10-pound fluorocarbon leader on that one. To a little golden green slender spoon, I changed out the treble hook to a single hook with a little piece of mealworm. So that's option number 1. And then option number 2 is a little, I think it's a 1/8 or 1/16 ounce chartreuse jig that I tied on some, you know, chartreuse olive brown marabou with a few rubber legs and some black flashabou. Little piece of mealworm tipped, just like that. This rod is the Frostbite dipstick, Fluger President reel on it, 39 inches long, and it's light. It's really nice for the trout too. Really good bend on it, fun to fight them on it. This is a bit stiffer rod, shorter, 34-inch Walleye X-Fast. It's a heavier rod, so for bigger fish, it works pretty good too. Get a good hook set in them. Okay, let's pull this guy out. Always look down the hole if you're in water shallow enough to see if there's any fish swimming around. And if you ever see that fly or hook kind of swing out to the side or make a funny motion to the side, give it a moment, because that means the fish just swam by and the current of their tail or their face coming by push that fly. So they might turn around and come back and get it. So always remember that. If you're looking down a hole and you don't necessarily see the fish, okay, we'll get this one out of the way. The flashy spoon first, because they seem pretty aggressive with the blob, but that doesn't mean they'll go after a spoon. But if they will go after a spoon, man, I'd love to catch them on a spoon. Penasks usually are bug eaters, but in the winter, man, they love chasing the spoons too. Since they took that blob so well, I'm pretty sure I'm better off with that jig and marabou pattern that I have. Quite often, if they're just not in the mood, they will totally shy away from a spoon. You won't see one fish, and then you drop down a subtle presentation like a jig or a fly, blob, ice fly, and they're coming by. So you gotta figure out each day that you're out which day it is. Okay, jig time. Oh man, that thing is beautiful. Let's drop it down there and see what kind of damage we can do. Oh, I think I just had a bite. My jig just swung out to the side. Oh, there's one. There's one. He's there. Oh, yeah. Oh, he just bit. Oh, my jig. Gotta get back down there. I touched him a little bit. But I'm hoping. Yeah, he's back. He's back. He's back. Oh, I just stung him again. He's there. He's there, though. He's there. He'll come back. He's back. He's back. He's back. Oh, there we go. I got him. I got him. I got him. Oh, man. There we go. Perfect size to keep. So I'm going to keep that one. Then I got my two in the ice. I can just release the rest. On that jig I tied, man, they're aggressive. That's it 3 times unless there's more down there. Always fix your jig. See how after reel them in, it's hanging like that? That's no good. You want to pull the knot around towards the point of the hook like that. So it's swimming like a bug. Before I came to the lake, I scouted it out. The best way to scout out lakes is to look if it has an underwater depth map or if it has, Google imaging from satellite. That way you can look on when they have an open water, good satellite image, you can see the shallow locations in the lake, if there's humps, if there's shallow shoals, if there's weed beds that extend out into the lake. And what you're looking for is, because fish often collect on those shallow areas, look for some of the biggest shoal areas in the lake, put those away in your memory, and then you go to those areas first and fish those in the shallow water. And a lot of times in the morning and the evening, the fish will be concentrating in those zones, maybe even all day. Like I'm experiencing today, it's almost noon already and I'm still catching fish. So hit those key areas. If you just, pop out of the car and start fishing right by the car, you may not be in one of those hot zones, and they may not be an area where the fish really frequent a lot. Sure, a fish could often swim by that area, but if you want to hit key target feeding areas, you got to look at a map and find those shallow shoals. Now, some days they're like not on the shoals at all. You'll find them out in the lake basin, like 30 feet of water, feeding on, chironomids and bloodworms, and they're right in the mud down there, messing up everything and gulping up those bloodworms, and even some scuds, tiny little shrimp, live out deep in the deeper water. So if you're not seeing anything in shallow, then you can start moving out deeper, but usually key in on those shallow feeding shoals because it's easier to target fish. The travel zones will be much narrower than going out into the middle of the lake to find fish. Who knows where they could be? The lake basin is often the biggest area of the lake. The shoulder areas or the shoal areas and the shore is much smaller than the whole surface area of the lake. 10 feet deep, so it's like double the depth. I'm maybe 20 feet away from that other hole I was fishing, so it's a pretty good drop. And just get ourselves a little bit of depth. Sometimes fish, when they're not quite as aggressively feeding, they just slide off that shelf for some reason and go to a little bit deeper water. Maybe it's a little bit warmer. Oh, there's one. Big one. See, I just moved a little bit. That 10-foot hole, I wasn't seeing anything. I moved in between the hole I was catching before and the little bit deeper one, 10 feet. Just in 8 feet of water, and 2 fish come by already. Seems like they're not biting like before. It's getting windy and chilly. I'm gonna put jacket on, but as always, might as well put my JawJacker down there. See if that JawJacker can catch one of those fish swimming by, because there's been a few go by, but not biting. Oh shoot, I did not do that right. It's always interesting to see what they're eating. I'm just filleting them, and I see a couple big caddis larvae. But what I do see, which I haven't seen much ice fishing before, is a ton of these dragonfly nymphs, like damselfly nymphs, I mean. And a few scuds in there, but lots of these little damselflies. So many of them. So I probably have some flies that can imitate those things, and I might absolutely slay. So that tells me that they're probably feeding in shallower. So let's try this 3-foot hole right here. It's funny, they're eating that little natural stuff. I probably could put an olive blob on it, it'd work well. Oh, one down there already. He just came. I moved to 3 feet and he just came. Wow, right away. Look at that. I moved it in shallow and right away we get hit. Saw one right as soon as I put it down and already had another bite on the JawJacker. So sometimes it doesn't make any sense. If the feeding is going on all through the day, you just have to find that feeding zone. And it was shallower this time, so try different things. It doesn't always make sense. I'm trying this little olive pattern, but it might be the wrong time of day. Kind of looks like the food they're eating. Oh, there's one, there's one, there's one. Oh, I got one. Oh, not a very big one, but man, he came and ate that blob. Oh, goodbye. Oh, there's one, there's one. They're just still coming in the shallow water. It's only like 3.5 feet of water on the blob. Not very big, but you know, they're still cruising around and aggressively feeding in the shallow water. Fishing on a brand new lake. I'll show you some detailed maps and stuff of how I picked this location on the lake and how I figured out exactly what depth was working. It's usually just trial and error, and the more you try, the more you catch. So I had a decent morning here. I got out a little late. It was like 10:30. Fished to, it's probably about 2 o'clock now. I'm gonna head over to another lake. Let's pack up here, pack my JawJacker up. I packed up everything else. Everything else is on the sleigh. This thing was fishing the whole time while I was cleaning up. And look at that, bonus fish. Bonus fish while I'm doing the goodbye. Oh yeah, and this is a good one, I think. Oh yeah, it's a nice fish. That's like the morning one. Oh yeah, it's a beauty. Oh, that's a beauty. Well, that is the way to end a day, isn't it? And a beautiful Panask rainbow trout hits the JawJacker right behind you, just like that on the blob. That is the way to finish off a day. What a gorgeous fish. That is awesome. Oh, that was crazy. Didn't even have to pull out the JawJacker. Fish went off. One of the biggest ones of the day. Got to release that nice fish. Let's go ahead and up another lake. Good bald eagle looking around. I'm at my spot, so looks like I found a spot that other people fish. You can see by all the disturbances around the ice, so looks good to other people, looks good to me. I'll drill some holes here. Oh, the eagle's flying away. before I drill many holes. Might as well put the JawJacker in, let it do the fishing. But yeah, 11, 12 feet deep. 10 foot right here. It's not a bad place to start. New lake, new adventure every time. That's why I enjoy trying the new places. This lake is stocked with Fraser Valley rainbow trout. They grow really fast. They're usually pretty aggressive. They really get fat. I've read that you can get them over 20 inches long in here potentially. It's special fishery. It's closed to angling by the general public from I think April to the end of September, and then during the winter anyone can fish it. So they don't stock it with very many fish. I think only about 1,500 a year, so that's not very many. Hopefully we have at least 3 years of fish in here, holdovers from other years. That would mean there's potentially like 3,000 to 4,000 fish in here. That'd be a decent amount, but I think it gets fished pretty potentially heavily, and I like trying new places. New places, new things. Same trout, different lake, different structure. That's what makes it interesting. Gotta figure it out one lake at a time. Every lake you fish, you learn things. So if you never try and go new places, you don't really extend your horizons much. Your learning is kind of truncated. Explore and try different places. The water is a lot darker here. It's more brown. That other lake was so clear. Fish could see the presentation from a mile away. This lake is going to be much harder to pull fish in, and this is the kind of lake that gold slender spoon might actually do really well. Seeing the watercolor, I'm going to try this gold green slender spoon. Need lots of flash in these dim water lakes. I feel like the fish are more aggressive. They come in and grab the hook pretty aggressively, so let's try this out. Move our JawJacker. We didn't give it much work this time. It didn't do a whole lot, so that's okay. We'll try later. Jig the spoon. Find where fish are cruising. If they're not gonna bite the spoon, I'll go to a different presentation, but for now I think I need to like find where the fish are cruising. Oh, there's one, there's one. Oh. There's one right there. He's there. Oh, he just bit again. 2 bites. Well, there's fish here. And I was right, the flashy spoon. I've got 2 new spoons to try out right here. This is the Frostbite Tackle Dinner Bell. It's got a gold back and a white and orange front. I think it glows a bit. And then this is, I believe, Northland Tackle Rattle Buckshot Spoon. It glows, has treble hook on as well. So let's see if we can jig up a rainbow trout with these. Thank you, JawJacker, but I get to business here. So I just had another one come by, Frostbite Dinner Bell. Came by a few times, but he didn't even touch it. So that's weird, because the first one was very aggressive. He grabbed it 3 times, so it's getting later. It usually is when they bite more aggressively. Well, it doesn't seem like this lake is gonna pan out here. I'm not marking that many. Tried a bunch of holes from 3 feet out to 10 feet. Right when I was pulling up the hook from the 10-foot hole, halfway up, a trout came in and chased it. He came up 2 or 3 times, but he never hit it. They're coming into the spoon. Usually this is the time of day when they're hitting pretty good, but these ones are just not eating it tonight. That's it for today. Came to the second lake. I marked 3 fish. That was it. The water's really murky. Tried with spoons, which seemed to be the best at bringing them in. JawJacker, nothing. I had 1 fish hit twice. The other 2 that came in just came in, looked at my spoon and went away. So that's fishing. That's okay. I saw 1 little spot of blood on the ice, so there are fish in here that people catch sometimes. And this JawJacker did really well this morning. Outfished me for sure. And then here, where the water's a little bit darker and murkier, maybe the fish just aren't seeing that blob down there. And there aren't that many cruising around, so that's probably limiting its ability to hook fish. So it is a great thing to have in the water, because when I'm tidying up and getting things ready, it can be fishing for me. Like I just loaded up my sleigh, strapped everything down, left this one fishing. Of course, this time it didn't catch anything, but a lot of days it does. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that little video. If you like the videos, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow along in our adventures, share with a friend. Helps out the channel a lot. And God bless. Go catch a big one. See you later.